I'm sad as an African. Have you guys heard about Malawi president sending his own citizens into slavery? Check the video out.
Do you know Africa will never be free from imperialism? It just never will be. Can you believe that Malawi, the president of Malawi, in a secret deal with the Israeli government, has sent off their young people to go pick farm fruits and vegetables? Do you see the corruption? They gave him $60 million. And these poor people obviously want to work, but the deal of them working is like they're going to get $1,000 a month. And out of that $1,000, they have to pay for their airfare and processing and their boarding and living. Does that remind you of what we do here in the U.S. to our farm workers? It is so disgusting that these so-called democracies, of which we are being told day after day that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East, will go into Africa, pay off the presidents, and get black people to work for white people. Because that's what Israel is, a white ethno-state. I cannot believe this. I really and truly cannot believe it. In the 21st fucking century, we're still going into Africa to enslave people, and the African leaders of some of these countries are just as bad as the Western democracies. It is absolutely disgusting.
This is what BBC posted on their Twitter handle. According to BBC, they said Malawi plans to send over 5,000 youth people to engage in agriculture work in Israel, despite the criticism President Lazarus and his administration got for dispatching 221 Malawians last week. What Malawi president is currently doing is a typical example of what happened during slavery. This is how some of our brothers ended up in slavery. If you check West Africa, we have a lot of slave markets. Our own people send us to the market and sell us to the Europeans. Now, if you're in Ghana, go to Salaga, right? The Musi people will take our own people, right? They will capture our own people from Upper East, Upper West, Burkina Faso, Niger. They will bring them to Salaga. Then the Ashantis will buy them and sell them to the Europeans. You see the problem? Some think the Europeans came here with chains, chasing us around. No. Some of our own people were involved. And that is how the Europeans succeeded in slavery in Africa. In the 21st century, we still have people who still behave the same way. How can we move forward as a continent? When everybody, look, all the countries around the world, everybody is taking his citizens from Israel. And this guy is rather sending his people to Israel to go and die. He don't care about his own people. The Israelis are currently fighting. They are at war. You took 60 million and you push your people. They should go and fight. They should go and die. You don't give a damn about them. Some of our people are very, very, very wicked. So BBC tweeted the same thing, on their Twitter handle. And I also saw the same article on African News. I'll read everything for you guys to understand what is happening, right? I'll read everything in details. Malawi president is a disgrace to this continent. Say, you've disappointed us big time. You took just 60 million. Just 60 million. You don't care about your people's lives. You don't care about them. At least think about your people for once. How will they even respect us? Me, I don't blame the Israelis. No. I don't blame them. The same thing is happening with the Chinese. People in Africa, you see some governments in Africa will bring these Chinese. They come in, they start mining. We brought them. So this article is also from africanews.com. The noise you are hearing behind me is sound of birds. That is nature. I'm in the forest. Malawi slammed for sending workers to Israel amid Gaza conflict. So the article continued to say opposition parties and human rights organizations in Malawi have voiced strong criticism against President Lazarus and his administration for dispatching 221 young Malawians to engage in agriculture work in Israel. The article continued to say his decision, implemented on Saturday, comes in wake of Israel's recent aid contribution of $60 million US dollars, which is equivalent to 47 million euros. Okay, so basically this guy was given 60 million US dollars aid. You see why I always have problem with this aid. I always have problem with this aid. They use this aid to trap our leaders in Africa. The article continued to say, aimed at supporting Malawian economic recovery. Interesting. The labor export deal has been criticized amid concerns over the secrecy with which it was done and the potential risk to citizens at the time Israel is in conflict with Palestinian Hamas group. Interesting. So the article continued to say, sending people to a war-torn country like Israel, where some countries are withdrawing their labor, is something unheard of. Malawian opposition leader Kundana, hey my brothers, please, I can't mention all the names. Kundana, hey, let me leave the name alone. You guys can mention it yourself. Told the BBC. If you enjoy the content, please make sure to like and also subscribe to the channel. Let's continue. He also questioned why the government had kept the deal secret, only informing Parliament about a plan to send workers to an unnamed country on 22nd November. The government has defended the deal, saying that it will export Malawians to Israel and other countries to fulfill his administration commitment to job creation and youth empowerment. Interesting. So because you promised the youth to give them job, does that mean you should send them to a war-torn country? The Israelis are currently fighting. Well, let's continue. The government also ensured of safety and security of Malawians, saying that they will work in locations which are classified as fit and safe and will be provided with medical insurance and reparations protections. Interesting. So this is what africanews.com is also saying. These puppet regimes can't even say no for once. Everything they say yes. At least say no for once.